Hi, my name is Rivky, and this was my process for this project. So starting off in the group, we spoke a lot about community, and we even walked around Cheetham Hill and explored the areas, and learned about local communities and what they're doing actively to help each other. Um, so in terms of the my idea of what I was going to do for the memorial, I thought a lot about bringing people's story to the front and how that is a really important thing to do when commemorating someone's life. But the point which I realized that some people we have practically no information on um, didn't sit right with me, and it made me realize that we focus on people's stories, which makes sense, but we it's more than that, especially if we can't find their stories. So, my first thing I did was I picked a person and I picked Hilda Davidson. I picked her because she practically had an unknown story. We know that she came from Berlin to Manchester on a domestic visa and got married here. She also, on the last day, which she was at Berlin, took pictures with her mother, um, and those were the pictures I was going to use as a reference. I think normally looking at those photos, you don't think much of it, but when you know the context that that's the last time she saw her family, it's those pictures are just so important. And so I wanted to use everything I had. So my first idea was to do a sculpture, which um, to bring her presence back, um, and like show she is not forgotten. So, um, so the first thing I did was I did some sketches of her from the reference photos, um, and I hung them up at one point, and it so I don't forget to keep working on it, and in a way that felt like a memorial in itself. So, what I did was I went to the local park and I was doing some sketches of her, and it just, it was, I didn't expect to feel so emotional. I, I felt like I was carrying her in my hands in the sheets of paper, and it was just strange. I didn't expect to feel so flooded with emotions about having her sketches with me. Even though they might have not necessarily represented her face well, but it still, I felt like, represented who she was, um, as they were drawn with that intention. Um, so I decided to do the sculpture after I mapped out the general proportions. Um, but first, I didn't feel like I would be able to sculpt well because I never actually had explored that medium before. Uh, so I decided to do a practice piece. I did it without any tools, um, and it was okay, but I didn't want to be disrespectful and do a sculpture of that quality, um, and not actually be able to capture her. I wanted to have some sort of um, creative feeling rather than just an attempt to show her. So after I did that one, I got tools and I did a second one, and that one was learning the planes of the face, translated into sculpture. I think that one went much better, and I'm glad I did it because it helped me understand how the face works a lot more. Um, so then I made an armature like 5 times, trying to find the right shape, um, and get stability in the structure. Um, Working on it, I felt like I got to know her more than anyone else. It's strange because I know practically nothing about her, but the process of the sculpture made me feel like I know her. Um, and I and I wanted to make sure that I get to express this feeling through the sculpture and have the viewer look at it like they know her. So I already at the beginning had a concept of using sound. Um, when I did the first sculpture, I used a speaker as the base of the armature on my practice sculpture, and I realized I can actually implement that into my final piece. So I got a teddy bear um, button that you press, and my first instinct was to put the song We'll Meet Again, but I tested out different moments. The speaker could only hold about 20 seconds of sound. So I I did that and I was happy with that for a while. I was planning on where to put it. Um, I had different areas in mind, but I I settled to put it here. But uh, so that also I made a pearl necklace in the structure, so I had to remove that because it was getting in the way. Um, so after I saw this song with her face, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like a particular song the Jews would relate to. Um, so we, I, so I decided it would be much better to put a Jewish song, as they're all universal and every Jew knows Shalom Aleichem. So I picked this beautiful version and I played it, but in a way it just sounded a little too masculine. So I hummed in the background of it, trying to give it a little bit of variety. Um, and then I put it in. The first time, which I saw the sculpture complete with the sound, just I didn't again expect to be moved. I've never been moved by my artwork before, but this one I felt was really impactful for me. Um, every stage, every step of the journey, I felt connected and I felt like I was actively memorializing on every stage.